Hi everyone, me again from cloudy Smyrna, Georgia on a lovely Sunday afternoon, and I got a question for you. What did you learn from your parents? Now, you know, I'm sure if everybody was blessed to have two parents, you learned all kinds of things from them. But I was just thinking of something maybe a little whimsical, maybe you know, not life's most important lessons necessarily, but you know, something interesting. And I thought I'd start it out with, first of all, I'll tell you a story about my dad. My dad had a cast iron kettle charcoal cooker. I don't know how to describe how big this thing is, but you know, a pretty good size. Everything cast iron on it, except for the steel handle on the top of the lid. Had three little legs that were cast into the bottom of it like little stumps, you know, on the bottom. And it came with a rotisserie attachment that you would take the lid off, set the rotisserie attachment on there. It had this electric motor on the side of it. You plugged it in, and it had a long spit that came with it. Now with the spit came a basket you could put, you know, small items in, like wings or something like that. Chicken pieces is mostly what he used that for. But you could also put something big on it. You could put a roast or whatever. But one of my favorite things that my dad did, and he taught me about, was about how to barbecue a bologna. Now he would go to the butcher shop. Yes, we had a butcher shop when I was growing up. And he would get about half a bologna. Think of a whole bologna, it's not sliced up, and it's, maybe a foot long, maybe a little longer, foot and a half long, you know. And he would bring it home and take it out, and he would put it on the spit. And before he got going good, he would set this off to the side, and he would take a very sharp knife, and at a 45-degree angle, he would cut in about, I'd say about a ½ inch, maybe a little more, into the bologna in a sort of a spiral around the bologna. And he'd move over an inch or so and do it again. And once he got all the way around, he would start on at the other end on a different 45 to where he would cross what he'd already done. So he ended up with a pattern of diamond shapes on the skin all the way around. Little diamonds about the size of your thumb, maybe a little bigger, into your thumb, and where the skin was split all the way down into the bologna a little bit. Now comes the fun part. He would build a nice fire in his grill, get his grill good and hot, and put the bologna on the spit and start the rotisserie. And then he would take Carolina Treat barbecue sauce. Now, if you're not from Carolina, you may not be aware of this, but this was the quintessential barbecue sauce my dad set back in the 50s. And I think it was a vinegar base. It definitely wasn't sugar based. So, but it's very, very, you can still get it today. It's very, very good, and very barbecuey, very spicy. And he would take a brush, and he would brush the bologna all over. As it spun, he would brush it on there. About every 10 minutes, he put the top on. About every 10 minutes, he would come back and get the brush out in barbecue sauce, and he would do it again. And he would do this, it seemed to me like he would do it all afternoon, but it must not have been more than a couple hours. But when he finally got finished, that bologna would be beautifully brown, and you could see, you know, the skin had shrunk some, so you could see well into the bologna everywhere he'd cut it. And he took it off, and he would take it off the spit and take it in the kitchen, and then he would slice it. And he would sometimes he would do it for a sandwich, but you know, a lot of times he would just do it as like make little bologna steaks out of it, cut them about an inch thick or something like that, and put them on a plate. Well, when you cut into these things, once you cut it, it looked like a bullseye. It would be barbecue sauce orange all the way down to within about, I don't know, maybe a circle about the size of a quarter or maybe a 50-cent piece would still be the gray of the bologna. But every other bit of it was just infused with barbecue sauce all the way down through. And it was wonderfully cooked. And it was the most delicious thing you've ever had in your life. Absolutely fantastic. And funny how you remember things, but that's what he showed me. When I watched this as a kid, I'm probably I don't know. I mean, he did it my whole life, so, you know, I imagine there must have been a time when I was 6 or 7 years old sitting there watching my dad do this. And he would do it quite often, and my mom enjoyed it, and everybody loved it. And we'd have a lot left over for sandwiches the next day. Because the sandwich so good you didn't have to put anything on it. But, so that's what he taught me. And then I was thinking, well, what could I tell about my mother? What did my mother teach me? Well, my mother taught me quite a few things, but one of the things that she taught me was we would go fishing, she and I. My dad would be at work, or my mom didn't work, and my dad would be at work or something. It'd be in the summer, or when I was just a little kid, when he was in school probably. We would go down to a friend's pond, and they had a little dock, and we would go out on the dock, and we had cane poles and corks and worms and the whole thing, just you know, the regular Andy Griffith type fishing experience. And my mother was a country girl, so you know, that's what she liked to do. But she taught me that if she baited her hook and put the line in, and then set the rod down to light a cigarette, she would catch a fish every time. As soon as she lit the cigarette, the bobber would go down, and the rod would try to slide off the pier, and she'd have to jump for it or put her foot on it or something. And it happened every single time. Now, I never smoked cigarettes. I always caught enough fish, I thought, as it was, but I always thought my mother must have some mystical connection with fish, that they knew when she was most vulnerable, when they had their best chance of getting the bait and getting away with the rod, the reel, the whole works, the cane pole, everything. But anyway, that's what my folks taught me. What did your folks teach you? Did something interesting, funny, meaningful, you know? Not anything really heavy. You know, we could do that a discussion too, but I was just thinking something kind of fun that you always remember your folks by. My mother's been gone about a little over 36 years now. My dad's been gone about 15, so, you know, all I have left are memories, and these are some of the good ones. All right, everybody, love to hear from you. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.